What's up, Dallas? It's your girl Rachel. We have another fabulous guest here on our 2025 season for What's Up, Dallas. Mr. Mac, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for asking.
Oh man, it's such a pleasure to have you on my show today. So I wanted to like spotlight your modeling and your talents and everything that makes you you. But the first thing that we need to get out of the way, can you tell everybody where to find you on social media?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at Andrew Kamal John. You could also find me at Stephen Hawking Talent Modeling Agency. You could also find me on my website, which is Andrew AndrewKamalActing.com, which shows all my films, all my photos, and everything else.
hmm Now, for our viewers out there, Mac and I met a couple months ago, and I'm just telling you, this guy has so much talent. You know, he's out there doing it. He's really tall, really tall. I'm just gonna say it. He's really tall, but he's super talented. He is a fashion runway model and menswear model. He's also like multi-talented in other ways. But I kind of want to talk to you about how did you get started in your modeling industry?
I got started in my modeling industry whenever I was doing a lot more commercials and TV work. I was on Fear of the Walking Dead, and I wanted to start out like way back in 2020. I wanted to start out doing bridal shows and runway stuff when I way back in 2020. I was in Austin. I was working on Fear, and I was just doing a lot more acting and TV and films. And at some point in time, I was about to do it, but then COVID hit. I lost the drive for it, and now last year was the first year I actually really got started on it. And so far, it's been going great. I've been doing not only photo shoots, but a bunch of runway shows all around Dallas and also the Austin area. So I'm even more excited that I'm just now even doing more and more, and I'm just loved more and more in the industry for not only my height, not only my walk, but for who I am as well.
And you have this very unique personality. You have like this, like when people come up and they talk to you, they would think that if you're a model, you got to be like kind of stuck up and all that kind of stuff. But you're just so down to earth. You're so easy to talk to. Like if somebody was to ask you a question, you would give them like a real answer. You'd be like, yeah, it's really fun. I have to stay motivated, but it's like hard work. And that's what I love about you is your drive, your vibe, your passion for what you're doing. So do you always want to be a model?
I've always wanted to be a model. I've always wanted to just do runway work. My prime goal is not to just model for Louis or Gucci or Venti, although that's always the game plan. That's always the thing. I actually like really low key stuff. Like my favorite fashion designer is Tyler the Creator, and I love his brand Golf Wang. And I've always wanted to just walk for one of his brands or just do a lookbook for it because I just love his fashion. I love what he does, and especially love his clothing wear. He's just so cool. It's weird, and I like weird. I just love weirdness.
We love the aesthetics of different fashion designers. Oh my goodness. So, I mean, I just heard something during our interview. You said you were doing acting. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I've been doing acting ever since I was a kid. I started out when my mom put me on PBS Kids. I was on there just doing a Kwanzaa thing, and I really loved doing theater all throughout like elementary, all throughout high school. I graduated from Texas State, and while I was in Texas State, that's when I was working on Fear of the Walking Dead. That paid for my whole college. I was so happy to do that, and I miss that set because I learned so much. And then right after I graduated, I started doing a lot more commercial and leading and acting roles. Just recently, I was in a short film, and we just won two film festivals. We won the Austin Film Festival, and we also won the Atlanta Film Festival. And now we're also going to be in Denton next week doing another premiere. And right now, speaking of which, I'm on a set.
Oh, that's why we had to do this interview real quick. Oh, I love that. Andrew, you're such a like a really like well-rounded guy. I love it. And the fact that you're taking time to interview with me today is really amazing. So, I I mean, I'm elated that you're on my show. But
Absolutely.
I I do want to say that our channel, we have a lot of young folks that are watching our channel. We have a lot of young adults and kids that are also inspiring to be models and talents as well. So, could you give some word of advice to the youngsters out there? Uh, Something that someone told you that has really helped you on your walk today.
Today, I met this girl named Benicia. She's well known in Dallas. She's a well known like up and coming model in Dallas. And when I met her, I was afraid to walk because I was like, I'm messing up. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. She said like, no, it's okay. Just have your T pose. I didn't know what a T pose was. So she said
Mhm.
like have a T pose and just walk left, right, down, down. And I'm like, okay. So I walked and it worked. And she's like, you've been doing it right perfectly the entire time. Just walk with confidence and have confidence in what you're walking in. And so
Mhm.
that's all it was. It was just big confidence in how you walk, always a different character on how you walk and how you present yourself. I've noticed
Mhm.
that like that's a known thing is just a lot of confidence. And also I love talking to people. I love socializing. So that's something that I really love doing, just socializing, talking to people and having the confidence in order to do so. So confidence is key whenever you start doing modeling. That's the biggest thing. And another big thing is that no matter how what age you are, no matter how big you are, no matter anything else, there's always something for you. Do not ever get it twisted saying like I'm too old, I'm too young, I'm too this. There's always something for you in this industry. There's always going to be something for you. Do not ever let anybody tell you otherwise because you can find something.
Mhm. And I love that you said that too, because a lot of people who are inspiring to be models and actors are like, oh no, that role is not, for me. That role is not, gonna pick me. There's no place for me in this type of industry. And I just want everybody to be kind of inspired that even if you want to model, but maybe you might not be tall enough to be a commercial model, there's still room for print work. There's still room for beauty models or hair models or makeup models. And there's different lines. Thank goodness that all the fashion industry is now starting to embrace people of all different sizes.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing I'm proud of. I'm glad it's more inclusive more than ever. Like now is even the greatest time to like even get into the industry because they need everybody. They love everybody. They anyone can get in, and I really mean anybody.
So now it's not like an exclusive type of industry or certain type of silhouette or person, you
Right.
know. You can do modeling if you put the passion, you study and you drive, you can model a lot of things. I'm not saying everybody can be a model, but if you have that drive and you have that passion and you want to understand what it takes to be one, I strongly suggest anyone out there to study it, learn it, live it, like constantly. Keep going and don't give up. And like
I
you were saying,
agree.
don't let anyone stop you. I
I
think that's
agree.
wonderful. So, amidst all this acting and the modeling and stuff, what are some other talents that people don't know about you?
Well, I can play trumpet. I love playing trumpet. I have a second language and I'm learning right now. It's mostly my native language. My family's from Kenya, so I really love. I wanted to learn Swahili and Kikuyu. It's basically my native language. Right now, I'm just learning a little bit, just greetings, hellos, and how are you doing. But like, that's the biggest thing I'm just trying to learn is just my native language, and it's my second language now because I'm getting even more fluent with it. I can count, I can greet, I could talk how I could talk about cooking, all that type of stuff. Also, I love to roller skate too. I've done roller skating. That's also really fun. I've done tricks with roller skates. I have done many different things, such as I am getting into UFC fighting. That's been a fun thing for a workout. Been doing a lot more weightlifting and doing a lot more running and hiking and eating healthy as well. I just love doing anything that I could just like get my hands on.
And if you could see yourself like in your ideal role, in a movie, what is your ideal role that you would like to play or portray?
Anything with Spike Lee directing it. If Spike Lee's directing it, that would be the best thing. But my ideal role is usually a role where it's just like I'm playing as a bad guy, and
Mm-hmm.
he's just like a real confident, smiling bad guy. Kind of similar to what you call it. Whenever there was a show called Luke Cage, and this dude was the bad. Oh my gosh, he was so cool playing that character. I was like, yo, I gotta be him one day. That was
Mm-hmm.
always a fun role.
Oh man. Kind of like the bad guy you don't really think is the bad guy until the end of the movie kind of bad guy.
Exactly.
Oh man, I love those type of twists to the movies. Oh my gosh, like whenever I'm like seeing it, I'm like, that's not the bad guy. That's not the bad guy. And normally I can fill out a movie whenever I'm watching it and stuff, but I'm like, no, that's not the bad guy. And I was like, "Oh, that's the bad guy the whole time. Like it
It's always the best. I love the just twist and turns
was
of it.
it's like the plot twist. Just switch it off.
Ah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I love that part. Oh my gosh. And you said your favorite designer, you want to model for him.
Mhm.
Is there any other designers you're wanting to model for?
Um, there's a few. There's also like what's his name? He was he designed for Balenciaga. I forget his name, but he I want to do him as well. There was another one. Yeah, oh no, not him. Yeah, mostly the other person with Balenciaga, but Tyler Creator, I would love to model for him. Ooh, if he ever saw this, I would love to model for him because he is my favorite creator. He's my favorite rapper. He's my favorite artist, and I just love his clothing and his texture and his style.
You heard it here first. Okay. Internet, do your magic. Let's make it happen for sure. I would also like to ask you, like, if since you are a male model, I know that the industry is not as what's the word? It's more like a female dominant industry, but you being a male model, can you tell some people out there like some of the challenges you've had to overcome in the industry so far?
Yeah, I remember when I started out, I was the same exact way. I said it's a female dominant industry. I'm never gonna get anything. Like I'm not gonna get any of this. Why even bother? And then it wasn't until like I was doing like an Evo commercial and a homie just um told me it's like, yeah, just try out runway. You can do runway. And I'm like, I can't get it. It's like I can't, you can. I know you can because you are tall, you are not ugly, you can do it. And I'm like, all right, I guess. So I went to one runway show and I was just thinking, okay, I'm just gonna try and I'm just gonna do it. And then they picked me and I was surprised because I didn't think I was gonna get picked. And then I was like, okay, maybe I'll just like what you call it. I'll just do this as a side thing. But then I was more picked each time. And I'm like, yo, I should really focus on this as well. This is
Mhm.
actually a branch that I could actually get off on. So I was really realizing that like there was more male models that even looked like me, more male models that were taller than me. I was even asking people that were tall as me, where'd you get your shoes? Because finding a shoe size for me is like nearly to impossible. I'm 6'5".
Mhm.
Whoa. It's crazy. I'm a size 13. You know how hard it is to find a size 13? I
I
gotta
do.
search the savannah desert, the whole forest just to find my pair of shoes. So if I'm buying them, I'm buying a good expensive pair and I'm wearing these out until they die. That's but with the with the industry of how it's like more male dominant, I realize it's like there's more males out there more than ever before. And I shouldn't really think of it as a male dominant society. I should really think of it as there's opportunities that I can never really see until like I just open my mind towards them.
Hmm. I love that. It's like putting a different perspective out there for anyone else that wants to do what you're doing. And I would like to try to say, I do know what it's like to shop for size 13 feet because both of my boys are size 13, one's 14.
Oh my.
So, uh, finding shoes for them is practically impossible. So I understand. I can't go anywhere to find shoes for them. So been there, done that. Motherhood advice. Yeah,
Uh,
it's hard for those type of shoes. But I love the fact that you brought up the fact that there is a need for male models out there. There's like a need for, men to make that, fashion, um, you know, dominant.
mhm.
What am I
Even
trying to say?
despite your height, like a lot, I've known a lot of friends that told me it's like, "Oh, you're making it because of your height." It's like, no, there's people that are shorter than me that kill it in the game, that are way better than me. So it's not because of my height. It's literally it's not just because of my height. It's also they need it for that type of clothing. I'm
Right.
telling you, even people that are like 5'2", 5'3", or even 5'8" can still make it as well. It doesn't
I
matter just about your height. It just matters about your tenacity and passion towards it.
That part, yes, because I know some model friends of mine, some male model friends that are like 5 foot tall and still killing it in the industry.
Mm-hmm.
Fitness models, tattooed models, whatever, they're just out there doing their thing. And I mean, you're probably the tallest model that I've met, honestly. But I mean, knowing you, just understanding you, it's like those differences between us as models is really not it's not that big of a difference. Like we're all trying to push for a goal. We're trying to be successful. We're trying to be happy. We're trying to be, you know, um, living in our lane. We're trying to make an impression. So as for you, Mac, what kind of impression out there do you want to leave on society?
In society, I want to leave an everlasting profession where I was creative, I was passionate, I was a dreamer, and I accomplished what I could do to inspire. Most of all, I just want to inspire because to just inspire to do something is just great. Like
Mhm.
Denzel, like Michael, like every other fashion and runway person, just to inspire would be just a dream come true.
Mhm. I love that. And if you could say your favorite actor, who's your favorite actor?
I would say Denzel. I loved Malcolm X. I loved American Gangster. I even loved whenever he was doing there's other films. What do you call it? Ride Along. Ride Along is obviously like one of his greatest. I even in the new movie Gladiator, he was killing it as
Hmm.
in the new movie Gladiator. I was like, oh my god, just carrying the film on his back is just amazing. But whenever
Hmm.
he was doing, that's what made me really want to work on a Spike Lee film because he was on it and he just portrayed Malcolm X beautifully, and I'm like, wow, whoa, this man's beautiful. I've watched American Gangster so many times. So it's just every time I see it, it's just like it's beautiful.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to say he's such a super talented actor, and I feel like he's so well-rounded, and like he literally made his mark on the acting industry. Like
Mm-hmm.
he can play anything from a good guy, a bad guy, old man, a young man, gangster. He can play a police officer, bodyguard. I mean, he's like a dad, can be a sick person, and Denzel's going to make sure that role is going to make its mark in the movie. Like I admire him too as a great actor. I think he's one that's definitely, if we ever lose Denzel, it's going to be a heartfelt one for sure.
Honestly, he won a Medal of Freedom for just his performance alone and his insightful and performances and his inspiration. I have never seen a cool actor like that. Dude is just cool.
Hmm.
That dude is just cool. But I don't want to be like him. I want to be a different version of him in a way.
Right. You use
But I
him
don't
as
want to sound too cocky because that sounds really conceited whenever I say something like that. So the
I would
way
just
I'm
say
just,
you look up to him. You look
I
up to him
really
as an
do.
inspiration to keep you doing your best. I think that's probably the better way to say it.
Honestly.
Yeah. I would have to say, I know I might catch some heat for this, but I really like Johnny Depp. Uh,
Really?
I I do. I like Johnny Depp and his acting. I feel like watching him over the course of all his years, he has portrayed so many different portfolios of acting too. He's also multi-talented, and I've seen him. I think the first movie that I saw him in, I don't know if he's gonna watch this video, but first movie that I saw him in was What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Ooh.
Him being the brother. That's when Leonardo DiCaprio came out too. Um, and I've been watching him ever since then. And then Benny and June, where he was like dancing and he was portraying it, helping this girl through her therapy and her mental breakdowns. I thought that was really nice. And then of course Edward Scissorhands, everybody knows all that one.
Sweeney
All
Todd.
the Tim Burton films, Pirates of the Caribbean, things like that. But he's such a multi-talented actor too. I think he would be my favorite, honestly. I did see him in Public Enemy #1 too. Great movie. Great
Oh.
movie. That's all I gotta say. Anyways, I believe that we've touched all the bases during our interview, but what's the next goal? What's next for Mac?
The next for me is to try to get to New York as soon as possible. I've been looking, and now that I'm in an agency, I'm getting a lot of roles. I hope I can one day just start doing a lot more modeling stuff in New York, so that way I can just do a lot more stuff. I also hope to. I also am trying to do Broadway as well. I'm doing theater. I'm getting back into theater, so doing Broadway and doing modeling is just perfect. Just keep myself busy as possible. Just keep going, keep going, keep going.
I see that for you, Mac. I see you're going to be all over the big screen. And so whenever your premiere comes out for your next movie, let me know so I can be there.
No, of course, you'll get a ticket.
Yay! A VIP spot. No. Absolutely. So you tell everybody one more time your social media.
My social media on Instagram is at Andrew Kamal John. My website is Andrew Kamal Acting, and that has all my social medias and also all my films, all my photos, everything, my resume, all that stuff right there for everybody to see.
All right, y'all got better go and follow Mac. He is really going some places. It's been a pleasure to have him on my show and get to know him so much more than I knew him before. So please go like, subscribe, What's Up Dallas Magazine, where we're always bringing you the coolest talent and the most inspiring stories. Peace out.
Bye. Later, y'all.